Next lesson is all about the graph of polynomial function. An algebraic expression containing only terms of the form ax to the power of k is called polynomial, where a is any real number called coefficient. So this is a number. K is a non-negative integer called exponent. K should be a positive number and it should be an integer. This is not a fraction nor a decimal number. The highest exponent in the polynomial is called degree. Here are some examples of polynomials and their degrees. 4x to the power of 6 minus 2x to the power of 4 plus 3x cubed plus 5. So the highest exponent here is 6. Therefore, the degree is 6. Negative 2x 4 to the power of 4 plus 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus x minus 7. The highest exponent is 4, so the degree is 4. 64x to the power of 17. The highest exponent is 17, so the degree is 17. And we have 9x plus 4. If we can't see a number on the variable there, so we have x as the variable and we don't see any exponent, it is automatic nga naay 1 as an exponent there. So the degree is 1. And negative 5, there, since we don't have uh, a variable here, so the degree is 0. Ang inyong tan-awon, it could be the letters, pero ang kasagaran nga gamiton nga numbers is x. So, kung ang variable naa siya exponent, that would be naa siya degree nga 1 or whatever the exponent is. But if it is just only a number, wala siya variable, any variable in it, so the degree is 0. So there, example, all of the polynomial above are written in standard form. Unsa man day ang standard form? The standard form is written in descending power of variables. It means nga mag-una ka og write with the highest nga exponent up to the last exponent or sa wala na exponent. Leading coefficient is the coefficient of the highest degree. So remember that coefficient is the number, huh? So example, we have 4x to the power of 6 minus 2x to the power of 4 plus 3x cubed plus 5. The leading coefficient is 4. Kay si 4 naa ang exponent nga or naa kang 4 ang variable with the exponent nga 6, which is the highest exponent or the highest degree. So negative 2x to the power of 4 plus 3x cubed plus x. The leading coefficient is negative 2. 64x to the 17. The leading coefficient is 64. And we have 9x plus 4. The leading coefficient is 9. So constant function, a polynomial with 0 degree. Like ang example kaganina katong 5. Linear function, a polynomial with 1 degree, quadratic. We have this in our grade 9. So a polynomial with 2 degree. Cubic function, a polynomial with 3 degree. And quartic function, a polynomial with 4 degree. So we have examples, f of 6. So that is a function, diba? Function is denoted by f of x. F of x equals 6. 6 is a constant function since there is no variable there. F of x equals 2x plus 3. This is a linear function kay ang atong degree of exponent here is, or our degree is only 1. And then we have 4x squared minus 5x plus 2 is a quadratic function because our degree of exponent here is 2, or the highest exponent here is 2. We have this in our grade 9, diba? Quadratic equations and quadratic functions. We have the f of x equals x cubed plus 2x minus 8. This is a cubic function since the highest degree of exponents is 3. And then we have an example of a quartic function, f of x equals 3x to the power of 4 plus x cubed minus x squared plus 5. So we have an example here. Determine whether or not the function is polynomial function. If so, write it in standard form and state its degree, type, and leading coefficient. So we have here a note that if the exponents are negative, so negative na siya, negative integers, or are not integers, the function is not polynomial function. So I have mentioned kaganina that the exponent should be an integer. It should not be a fraction, neither a decimal number. Okay? And it should not be a negative number. Okay, we have letter A. F of x equals x to the power of 4 plus 2/3 x squared minus 3. So, is this a function? Or is this a polynomial function or not? So let's see the solution. Since all the coefficients are real numbers, so the coefficients here are 1, although it's not written here, but it's automatic nga 1 na siya ang number before the letter x or the variable x. And we have the 2/3. 2/3 is a real number. And also negative 3 is a real number. So all the coefficients are real numbers and all the exponents are non-negative integers. So we have 4, 2, and this is 0. So we can say that this function is a polynomial function. In standard form, inyong isulat in standard form is, ang standard form in writing polynomial function is, ang degree ha sa ilang exponent should be in descending order. So the degree is 4, the type is quartic, and the leading coefficient is 1. Leading coefficient is the coefficient of the variable with the highest exponent, degree of exponent. Okay, letter B, g of x equals 3x minus pi plus square root of 7x squared. Okay, the coefficients are real numbers. So we have the 3 and uh, pi is a real number. And square root of 7 is also a real number. And the exponents, we have 1 for 3x and 2 for the x squared are non-negative. So therefore, we can say that this function is a polynomial function. Okay, so the standard form, g of x equals 7x squared, square root of 7x squared. So you start with the highest degree of exponent plus 3x minus pi. Pi is a constant number, di ba? 3.14 and so on. Taas kayo ng pi. So the degree is 2. The type is quadratic function and the leading coefficient is square root of 7. Okay, let's have letter C. H of x equals x squared plus 2 over x minus 6. Let's have the function is not a polynomial function since the term 2 over x has a variable in the denominator. So if there is a variable in the denominator, that is not a polynomial function. Kung ang variable na sa denominator, it means that the exponent of that variable is a negative number. So this is x to the power of negative 1. So, di ba? We have a note here that the exponent should not be a negative integer or a negative number. So, kani pa lang dire, we can say that this is not a polynomial function. It's because of the exponent ni x, which is negative 1. So, kung ang denominator nimo is a variable, so automatic na siya nga ang iyang exponent is negative. So, kung imo nang ibalhin nga mahimo siya numerator, that would be negative 1. So, exponent of negative 1. Okay, let's have letter D. So k of x equals x squared plus 3 to the power of x minus 0.3 x to the power of 4. The function is not a polynomial function since the term 3 to the power of x has a variable exponent. So your exponent should be an integer. It shouldn't be a, a variable, or so it shouldn't be a letter there. So ang nakapahimo niya nga dili polynomial function is the exponent nga x. Okay, let's have letter E. F of x equals 8x squared minus 3x to the negative 2 plus 43. So, klaro na kaayo, no? So, this is not a polynomial function because 3x to the power of negative 2 because of the negative exponent. Okay. Use direct substitution to evaluate the function defined as f of x equals 3x to the power of 4 minus 2x cubed plus x minus 12. When x is 2, what you will do is just substitute the value of x to all the x's here. So there, 3 times 2 to the power of 4 minus 2 to the power times 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 minus 12. So, this is not 2 times 4 ha. Most of you siguro malibog. This is not 2 times 4, but this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. That's why we have 16. And also this one. This is not 2 times 3, but 2 times 2 times 2. So, f of 2 is equal to 22. This can also be answered using synthetic substitution or synthetic division. So here, what you will do is just write the coefficients in descending order or descending exponent. So mag-start ka with the highest exponent. The coefficient of the highest exponent here is 3, and then negative 2 kung unsa ang iyang operation here, that would be the sign nga gamiton. And since we don't have squared here, we'll use 0. Kaya wala man tayo squared in the function. In the given function, we have 3x to the power 4 minus 2x cubed, and then we don't have a squared here. So, dapat descending man ta, naatay, dili dapat nga diretso ka sa 1. You have to put 0 para sa mga, or para sa part nga wala siya squared. So, kung nagdiretso. And then, negative 12. Next is bring down the first coefficient. So, here. And then, multiply this by 2. So, 3 times 2 equals 6. And then, what you will do is negative 2 plus 6 equals 4. And so on. So, here. So, diba, this is negative 2 plus 6 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 0 plus 8 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 plus 16 is 17. 17 plus times 2 is 34. Negative 12 plus 34 is 22. So by synthetic division or substitution, we also obtain the same value, that is f of 2 equals 22. So if the degree of polynomial is even, so ang degree sa polynomial, if it's ang highest nga exponent is even, the function behaves the same way as x approaches both positive. So mao ni ang mahitabo. Both would be go up or both will go down. So masabtan ni nato kung up siya kung ang leading coefficient is positive. Let's say for example, x to the power of 4. Diba? The coefficient of x to the power of 4 is 1, and 1 is a positive number. So, the graph opens up. The same ni siya sa quadratic function. If the value of your a there is positive, so the graph opens up. But if the value of letter a is negative, the graph opens down. So, kana, same ra na sila. So, if the degree of the polynomial function is odd, or odd, kung 3 or 5, yan na, the function exhibits opposite behavior as x approaches positive and negative infinity. So, walang ta kay bawasan na sila ha, infinity, infinite number. So, if the leading coefficient is positive, so the function increases as x increases. So, kung si x mo increase siya, si y mo increase po. And if x decreases, diba, to the left side is negative numbers and then down is the negative y numbers, so mo decrease. But if the leading coefficient is negative, baliktad ni. As the x values decreases, the y values increases. Diba? The left side of the graph or the Cartesian plane is the negative x values. So, magpadulong siya sa negative values, magtikataas ang value po ni y. So, baliktad sila. And the same here on the right side, if the x values increases, the y values decreases. Okay? So, example, graph f of x equals negative x cubed minus 2x squared plus 4x plus 1. So, table of values. We will, in here, we use 0, 1, 2, negative 1, 2, and negative 3. The degree is odd. So, here, this is 3. So, this is odd. And the leading coefficient is negative 1. So, this would be the graph. Imo ra ni siyang ipang plot ang points and then connect the graph. So as you can see, ang ato nga graph as nag-decrease ang value ni x, nag-increase ang value ni y. And the same here, nag-increase ang value ni x kay this is to the positive infinity of x, the negative infinity of y. Okay? We have g of x equals x to the power of 4 plus x cubed minus 3x squared plus 3. The same table. The degree is even, so we have 4. And the leading coefficient is a positive number, so both would increase. So, kana. It opens up. Positive. G of x goes to positive infinity as x goes to negative infinity. And f of x goes to, and f of x equals, as it increases, it goes to positive infinity. So both. Okay, that's it for the graph of polynomial function.